Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to welcome you to this session. This is the section where we would introduce you shortly into the paper Taxation within ACCA Qualification Curriculum. My name is Adeomi Binuyo. I am the course leader for the paper Taxation at Ivy League Associates, Nigeria. Let's start with where is taxation within ACCA qualification curriculum. Taxation is firmly within the applied skilled level. There are 6 papers in the applied skill level: corporate and business law, performance management, taxation itself, financial reporting, audit and assurance, and financial management. So taxation is one of those papers that are taught and taken as exam at the applied skill. We also need to understand that taxation has no direct relationship with any other paper below it. I mean, taxation has no direct relationship or any incidental relationship with any of the applied knowledge papers, namely business and technology, management accounting, and the financial accounting. And it has relationship with just one paper directly, which is advanced taxation, which is among the strategic professional papers, specifically one of the 4 optional papers. And it's also instructive to say that here in Nigeria, we teach the UK variant. So that's why on all my slides, you see taxation UK, telling you that it's not Nigerian variant, but it's UK variant. We're here to have Nigerian variant. So that is where taxation is situated within ACCA curriculum. Then we can now talk about the content of the syllabus. So there are 5 important taxes that are taught within this paper: income tax, we have CGT, which is the tax paid by individuals on their chargeable gains. We have inheritance tax, we have value-added tax, and then we have corporation tax, which is the tax that corporations pay on their profits and on their chargeable gains. But it's also important for us to understand that you need a very good knowledge of UK tax system and its administration. We know that UK tax system is managed by Her Majesty's Revenue and Custom majorly. So you need to know how that system works. And there is a need for you to embrace the employability and technology skill. We know that as accountants, what we do, how we do our job is influenced by technology. And we know very well that this exam will be taken on technology platform, that is on ACCA CB platform. So it's very important for you to understand the place and importance of technology in this exam. So it's a skill you need for employment, and it's also a skill you need to pass this paper. So in detail, this is an overview, and as I've said, you need a very good knowledge of the UK tax system, who administers it, how it is administered. You need to know what are the obligations, what are the duties of the taxpayers, and then what are the implications of non-compliance. UK has a very strict system when it comes to compliance with tax. And basically, if we group the taxes into the ones that individuals suffer, and the one that companies suffer, and the one that is suffered by both individuals and companies. So we can say income tax liabilities by individuals. Individuals in UK tax system means employees, self-employed, and partners in partnership. So they are all liable to income tax liabilities. And then we have national insurance contribution, NIC. So we have some contribution paid by employees, we have some paid by employers, we have some paid by self-employed. And then we have chargeable gains. So I've mentioned this. So there are two kinds of chargeable gains. So the ones that arise from individuals, they pay CGT. The ones that arise from company, then they pay corporation tax on that. Then we have inheritance tax liabilities. So when you give gifts, whether lifetime gifts or at death, then it will be subject to inheritance tax liability based on certain conditions. Then we have corporation tax. These are taxes paid by individual companies on their profits, on their property income, on their interest income, on their chargeable gains as well. And we're also going to see within this course the tax liability for group of companies, how group of companies can arrange their tax affairs and the tax liabilities. And then we know that value-added tax is a major indirect tax that is suffered by the ultimate consumer. So how this tax is levied, how it is administered, is also going to be an important part of this paper. So it's very important from the word good that you understand that every of the taxes that I've mentioned, they are very, very important. It's very, very important for your success. And you also need to have a very good knowledge of the UK tax system and its administration. So specifically, each of these taxes has specific ways in which they are administered, and the knowledge of those issues are very important. The filing dates, payment dates, and all of that, very, very important. Then we can talk about the aim of the syllabus. So this syllabus, as I've told you, that there is no applied knowledge paper that directly links to this paper. And even among the strategic professional papers, it's only directly linked to advanced tax. So this paper, it's to introduce the candidate students to the subject of taxation and lay the foundation, provide core knowledge of the underlying principles, major technical areas, as far as taxation is concerned, and as far as they affect individuals, businesses, and corporations. So you are going to learn how to compute tax liabilities. We're going to explain the basis of our computation, and we're going to apply tax planning techniques. Tax planning means how do we legally minimize our taxes using the knowledge of the law. It's quite different from tax evasion. And then we also deal with issues of administration, which is essentially compliance issue. Then in terms of the paper itself, the exam itself, we have three important sections. So section A, where you have 15 objective questions, and they will be drawn from all parts of the syllabus. Then we'll have 3 objective test cases drawn from any part of the syllabus, and 5 objective questions following that. So that means that you're going to have 5 questions per case, meaning 15 objective questions in all. Again, so each of them for 2 marks. So that's another 30 marks with the initial 30 marks from the 15 objective questions, making 60 marks, 30 marks from the first 15, 2 times 15, and then another 30 marks, 2 times 15, making 60 marks. That tells you the importance of objective questions and objective question practice to this paper. And as far as these objective questions are concerned, I've said that they'll be drawn from all and any area of the syllabus. So the examiner has not given us specific guidance as to where these objective questions will be drawn, but he has told us that they would cover the entire gamut of the paper, the syllabus. So you need to read the objective questions carefully. So after you've come to the class, we promise you that you're going to have a very good time in our classes. We're going to take you through the concepts. We're going to solve questions. We're going to give you assignment. We're going to provide feedback for mocks. So you read the questions and the scenario carefully. That's very important. I do say a question you don't understand, you can never provide the right answer to. So you're going to read the question and the scenario carefully. If you're going to answer the question correctly, then if there are specific instructions around rounding, for filling the gap, filling the blank type of questions, you have to adhere to that strictly and ensure that you answer all questions. That's very, very important. Now, it's very important also that you have specific instructions as part dealing with the section C questions, the constructed response questions. So there will be three questions. The first one for 10 marks, then there will be two other questions. One will be from income tax and one from corporation tax. So the first one, 10-mark question, it could be from any area of the syllabus. Then one 15-mark question from income tax, another one from corporation tax. Each of them for 15 marks. So that tells you the importance of, the relative importance of corporation tax and income tax in this paper. So it's going to be very, very important for you to now have a structure, how you're going to approach those questions. So number one, you must allocate time. So we've empirically determined this. 27 minutes should go to each of the 15-mark questions. So 27 times 2, 54 minutes, and then 18 minutes to the other question. So by the time you add 54 minutes with 18 minutes to 18 minutes, you're going to have 72 minutes. So you have 72 minutes in all for section C. The 15 mark, one of each of them should take 27 minutes, so 27 times 2, and the 10 mark question should take 18 minutes. Always read the requirements first, understand the requirements, and have a well-structured layout for your answer. Present all workings. Do not just put in the answer. Present all workings. The examiner is interested in the workings. And when it comes to narrative questions, be very clear. Make clear statements. Don't make ambiguous statements and avoid repetition. Make precise statements. Speak to the question. Don't skirt around the question, and then avoid repetition, and ensure at the end of the day that you attempt all requirements, because the more questions you attempt qualitatively, the more answers, the higher the chances of passing your exam. So it's very important now I haven't taken you through the syllabus. I haven't told you what the structure of the exam will look like. So let's talk about what you need to do to succeed in this paper. Number one, there is no cherry picking. Study the whole of the syllabus. Practice exam style and standard questions to time using ACCA CBE platform. Then you have to ensure that you are using the CBE platform regularly so that you can develop the right skill in answering constructed response questions. Don't be caught unaware. Don't say that, oh, you haven't practiced on that platform before going to write exam. That will be too costly. So ensure that you practice on the platform to develop the skill for constructed response questions, to ensure that you are well familiar with the CBE functionalities, and ensure that you attempt 2 full exams under exam conditions. We're going to provide you opportunity to do that. We're going to have a progress test, and we're going to have a mock exam at the end of the teaching, at the end of the session, so that you can test your knowledge, identify weak areas, work on those weak areas before the exam. And I need to say this here. I've included it in my slide here that tax administration is an area that is often neglected by students. And I do tell students that tax administration will offer you sizable mark in the exam. So tax administration, the knowledge of when you file your tax returns, when you make payments, when interest, when penalties will arise, when interest on late payment will arise. All those things are vital part of this study that are often neglected by many students. And I don't want you to neglect it because they will play a vital role in whether you pass or fail this exam. And I want to tell you that having had this now, you are going to take all of these things seriously and ensure that tax administration is not neglected like other people neglected it, so as to ensure your chances of passing this exam. Then we can then wrap up by talking about what are the resources that ACCA has provided for you as students to pass this paper. The first of them is the Finance Act 2020. So the tax we are currently teaching is based on Finance Act 2020. So there is an article that summarizes the changes that we have between Finance Act 2019 and Finance Act 2020. So that Finance Act 2020 article is very, very important. Then we have examiner's approach that tells you, that opens up to you the mind of the examiner. Then objective text questions for session CBE. So this exam is not on-demand exam, it's a session CBE. So it can only be written in March, June, September, and December. So what that means is that is a session CBE. So objective questions for that, they are available from the approved content providers. And I've told you the importance of objective questions. They will account for 60 marks out of the 100 marks in this exam. So you are going to pay attention to that, ensuring that you practice enough of objective questions. Then there are resources on Guide to Session CBEs, to the functionalities, to the CBE environment. And there's an article on higher skill. I can tell you that this article on higher skill helps you to see the interaction of taxes. And many a times we've seen that the 10-mark question in the section C side of the exam always features something from higher skill. So higher skill is a real deal. You need to read that article before the exam. It helps you to bring together different taxes, how they could interact with each other, and how they could be tested. Then we have exam team guidance. That's very important. And then we have the ACCA CBE platform where you need to practice. So this is to introduce you to paper taxation. I hope to meet you in the class, and I'm hoping that you will adhere to all these instructions, and at the end of your paper, we'll be very glad with your performance, and you will progress to the next paper. Thank you very much.